Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I'm going to talk about the new regulations that came out in 24 and continue into 25, just to make sure everybody's on the same page. So go ahead and sit back and then you'll see what we're doing. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We're going to talk about the new government regulations. These came out in 24 and they continue into 25. Just want to make sure you understand why we are asking for the information we are. So one of the newest things that came out in 2025 was consent. So we do need written or recorded consent. Recording could be by phone, it could be by email. Usually it's by written recording. So we can have consent from you to help you. So it can be to enroll you, it could be to send quotes, or in the future when you ask us to update something. So that's one of the things we're always going to ask for. It looks like this. It's a pretty generic form. I can tell you it is not giving us permission to do anything outside of what you ask us to do. Now, that's who we are. We don't run around and go into the marketplace application just for fun. We only do things that you're asking us to do. But you are giving permission to Next Step Insurance, the entire agency, because it's not just me or John or Sam or whoever your agent is. It's the entire under 65 team. So Next Step Agency to serve as your health insurance agency for you and your family. You can take that back at any time. In fact, the last sentence is you understand that your consent remains in effect until you revoke it, and you may revoke or modify it at any time by writing, email, official document on a letterhead, however you want to, or you can just call and tell us. We don't believe that you should be locked in and beholden to us. So if we're not doing a good job for you and you want to use a different agent, that is completely fine. So this is part of what the government requires us to do. The requirement is from CMS, the Centers for Medicaid and Medicaid Services. They handle Medicare as well as the under 65 world. So we have to do the attestations as well. If you do the application yourself, we don't need to have a copy of those attestations, but if we are helping you with the application, we have to get them. So I'm briefly going to go over them because if I don't, I haven't done my job. So just remember that we need two forms from you if we are doing it for you. One is your consent, and the second one is the attestations. So I'm about to read them. This is found at the end of the application, and they should sound familiar because we do this every time we do your application. So renewal of coverage. To make it easier to determine your eligibility for help paying for future years, you agree to allow the marketplace to use your income data, including tax returns for the next 5 years. You can opt out at any time. So what this statement is that you're giving them permission if you do not do anything. Okay, so if you don't update it, you don't have us do anything, and you just let it auto renew, you're giving them permission to look at your 2023 taxes, or usually 2 years behind. So you're talking, we need to have 2025's income in there. But if you click this, they will automatically renew you regardless. It's just whether you want them to use your income from 3 years ago. Well, 2 years ago, sorry. The marketplace send you notice, you can opt out. You can agree or disagree on this. It doesn't really matter. We want you to not let it auto renew. Even if you don't take a tax credit, sometimes people think, oh, I don't qualify. But as you get older, suddenly you qualify. So don't let it auto renew. Make sure you do it just in case. We want to make sure you're in the best plan. The second one is about the tax attestations. You understand that you're not eligible for premium tax credit if you're found eligible for other coverage like Medicaid, which would be our Badger Care, CHIP, which is still Badger Care, or a job-based health plan. I understand that if I become eligible for other qualifying health contract or connections, I will contact the marketplace to end my marketplace coverage and premium tax credit. If I don't, the person who files taxes may have to pay back. So don't call healthcare.gov. Please call us. We will make sure that it's done correctly. But if you end up on Badger Care, great, let us know. We'll end this one. You can have both, and it doesn't even make sense to have both. If you are offered a job coverage, you need to contact us. The marketplace and the IRS have ideas of what they say is affordable. So if you're offered a job and you want to see what you can do, call us and we can help walk you through that. Sometimes it's affordable for the employee, but not for family. Maybe the family can stay on the marketplace. So just give us a call. This next one is, I understand that because the premium tax credit will be paid on my behalf to reduce the cost of health coverage for me and or my dependents, that you must file federal income tax return. Now, this is 2023, but it's 2025. You will file. And if you're married at the end of 2025, you must file a joint income tax return with your spouse. No one is going to claim me as a dependent on their 2025 taxes, and I will claim a personal exemption deduction on my 2025 federal income tax return for any individual listed on the application as my dependent. This is basically you saying whoever I put on the application will be on my tax return. So if you have a 23-year-old who is not a tax dependent because they have their own job, they cannot be on your application. They are not a tax dependent. So make sure you clarify who is and isn't. If you're not sure, talk to your tax accountant. We will put whoever you tell us to, but you need to understand the tax ramifications. Next part, I'm going to get up a little closer. If any of those things that we just talked about changes, understand that it could impact your ability to get the tax credit. So again, if you're at Badger Care, you can't get the tax credit. You certainly don't want to pay full price. You understand that when you file your federal income tax return, the IRS will compare the information on your taxes with the application. You understand that if the income on your tax return is lower than the amount of the income on your application, you may get some tax money back. So if you tell us your income is 50,000 and when you file it's actually 45, the government will say, oh, you didn't take all the tax credits that you were allotted, and they'll give you that back as a lump sum. But the reverse is also true. If your income is higher on your tax return than what we put on the application, you're going to want the money back. Remember, IRS. Now, it's not a penalty. It's not a tax. There's no like interest on there. There's no fees. It's just the amount you would have been paying. If you told me you made 40 and you made 50, you're going to have to pay it back as a lump sum, but it's the exact same amount you would have been paying if we had had 50 on your application. It just would have been broken up into 12 months versus a lump sum. So get as close as you can. Then it'll say, I know I must tell the program I'm enrolled in if anything on the application changes. I know I can make changes to the marketplace, but on your marketplace account or by calling the marketplace. Please don't call them. Please call us. We've had more agents or more clients than I would like to know that have called the marketplace that it has been messed up. And they actually physically remove us as your agent, and then we can't help you. So don't call the marketplace, call us. If you call your insurance company and they say, hey, let's just call the marketplace, please don't do that either. Say, no, thank you. I'm going to call my agent. We will make sure that it's handled correctly, that you keep in the same plan. And I mean, we're trying to do our best for our clients, and we are agents. The people at healthcare.gov are not agents. So don't call them. But if anything changes, please call us. That's what our customer service department is for. If anyone on your application is enrolled in the marketplace coverage and is later found to find other qualifying health coverage like Medicare, Medicaid, our Badger Care system, the marketplace will automatically end their marketplace coverage. This will help make sure that whoever's found to have other coverage won't stay in the marketplace and have to pay full cost. So you can agree or disagree. Don't assume that, hey, the marketplace is just going to automatically cancel me when I turn 65. It doesn't. It actually takes about 3 months before the marketplace realizes that you're enrolled in Medicare, and they just term it then. They don't backdate it, and now you owe for 3 months of premiums that was kind of pointless. So again, if you're turning 65 or go on Badger Care, just let us know. Now, we do look at everybody who's 64 and we send out notices, and we try very hard. Accidents can happen, but we try very, very hard to make sure that nobody turning 65 is on the marketplace, unless there's some reason that you have asked us to. So just be aware of that. There is a new tax filing question that has shown up on the application as of today, November 1st. It says, if Ruth Paul got a premium tax credit in 22 and 23, did they file a tax return with the IRS Form 8962 to reconcile those payments for at least one of those years? If you got a 1095 from the marketplace and you gave that to your accountant, or you entered that information in your tax return, that form fills out automatically, Form 8962. So if you did that, you're fine. Click yes. If you did not get a tax credit, you can hit no because you were on employer coverage in 23. But if you did not file income tax return for 22 and 23 and you were on the marketplace, I can tell you right now, by March maybe even February, the tax credit will disappear. So you need to make sure you file your 22 and 23 taxes. If you have not, you have to reconcile those tax credits. Any other questions though, let us know. So this is all the stuff about the new regulations. Thank you.